Alright everyone, welcome back to Tatted Snake Prints, Dream Makers Reptiles. And I would like to highlight one baby I haven't highlighted much of. I gave a brief introduction to him when I was talking about my collection. But this is Lafayette, and he's special to me for several reasons. One, he's the rut of the Dream Maker family. Two, I rescued him from Petco, and for those who are watching, never ever ever buy from a chain pet store. I don't care if it's Petco, PetSmart, I don't give a damn. Those people do not take care of their animals, especially their reptiles. They suck at it. When I bought him, actually, it was on a whim. I went in to go get some rats at the last minute because it was like an emergency and I needed, some quick feeders until I can go to the people I usually buy from. And so I went in there to get food, and I decided, something said, I don't know, call it intuition, call it what you want. Something said, go and to the reptile aisle. And I was like, okay, well, I need a couple of supplies anyway, like, sanitizers and the pooper scooper. I buy little things like that. So I went over there to check it out, and I saw them placing baby ball pythons in the tank. And I was like, oh, y'all got a new shipment? And she said, yeah, we just got these today, brand new off the truck. And when I looked, they were so malnourished. They were so dehydrated. They were so little. And as far as little, I mean skinny. Like, either those babies had just came out the eggs, or I don't know, or the supplier who they purchased from are shitty breeders or shitty suppliers. Like, there was no reason why all those babies looked the way they looked. And she was like, also, they're 50% off this weekend. And I'm usually one to never, I'm adamant, never buy from a chain pet store. Like, I've heard horror stories of people who bought snakes and then days later they're dead. I've heard people who bought reptiles like geckos and stuff from there, and they end up having mites and parasites, and the person who bought the reptile at Petco end up having to pay a hefty vet bill. It's just so many horror stories. I have yet to hear a good story about someone who bought, well, I'm not going to lie. I do know one person who bought a bowl from Petco, and that bowl was pretty good. They had no complaints. But that's rare. Anyway, as I digress, I am so shocked that Lafayette is just sitting here this whole time. It's been, like 3 minutes, and he has not moved. But anyways, I digress. Off with the tangent. So anyway, something told me, call it intuition, call it what you want, I don't know, something said get him. So I saw him, and trust me, he was not cheap. Like, again, don't buy from chain pet stores, but yeah, he was not cheap. But something said get him, and so I did, and brought him home. He was super skinny, like I said, super dry, dehydrated, like, it was just bad. Like, and then when I got him, he would only eat mice for me. Never rats. Not the pinkies, not the fuzzies, nothing. And I was frustrated because he would not eat for me. And if he did eat, it would be like once every 2 weeks. And I was like, no, baby ball pythons eat, 5 to 7 days. Especially this little. Like, they should be hungry for that shit. But it's required that but he just wouldn't eat. He would eat 1 week, and then I'll go in 5 days later or 7 days later, and he will reject the next meal. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I was very worried about him. I didn't think he was going to last this long. May I mind you, I bought him in October of 2016, and it is now March of 2017. So I'm surprised he survived this long, honestly. But for those who are wondering, he is a cinnamon. He is not a normal. For those who've seen Jafar and Jasmine in previous videos, you can tell by the markings that he is way darker than, like his blacks are super blacks. But he is a cinnamon ball python. And Like, I was very afraid and scared for him. And one thing I love about him is that he has these jet black eyes. All my other snakes don't have that. Some might have like yellow eyes. Some might have, light brown where you can see the pupils or whatever. The line slant in the eyes. I can't see shit when I look at Lafayette in his eyes. It's just pure black, and I think that's just the cutest thing ever. But anyway, so I brought him home. And for the first couple of months, I was struggling getting him to eat regularly, like the rest of my animals. Like, he just refused. Like I said, if he eats one week, he'll refuse it the next. And so I just had to be patient, and I had to feed him on the same schedule as Jafar and Jasmine. Oh, he's alert now. And so I'll put this right here, and so maybe he'll move some more. And so, yeah, so I was just very scared for him. But one thing about him, when he did eat, he pooped regularly. So that was good. So he had no problems with that when he ate. But, yeah, like I said, it was just a struggle. And I was afraid that he wasn't going to last long. So he is literally like the runt in the family. But I love him to death. Like, I love him so much. Lafayette is just cool, and him and Bowie are the only snakes that I did not give Disney names. I don't know why, but when I saw him, Lafayette popped up in my head. And some people ask, do you mean like Lafayette, like the character from Hamilton or whatever? And I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll go with that. That's the story I'm going with. But really, when it comes to naming my snakes, I try to stick with a Disney theme, because I love Disney. But, if I buy a snake, find a snake, and another name pops up in my head, that's what it's going to be. I'm not going to stick to the strict rule of, they have to be Disney names, even though my mother would like them all to be Disney names. So, yeah, I just thought I'd give a quick story of Lafayette, my cinnamon. And he's just really good. Like, I should have a photo shoot right now of how good he is being, just posing. Like, the rest of my snakes, I would be trying to wrestle them and wrangle them in and stuff while making this vlog, but he is really, it looks like a statue. But yeah, I love him, even though he's the runt and it's going to take a while for him to grow. Good news is, besides him still being alive after I done bought him back in October, but he is no longer on mice, frozen thawed mice. He is now moved up to rats, so I am so happy. He is eating, I believe, fuzzies. Yeah, he's on the same meal as Stitch, Bowie, and Ka. And when I weighed him last, which was a couple of months ago, he was like 80 grams. And now he's up to 100. So things are looking up. I am so happy. I'm going to try to feed. He ate this past weekend. I'm going to try to see if he'll take one this next weekend. I'm going to try to feed him first. And if he rejects it, then I'll just give that rat to another snake who wants it. But, again, this is just a quick video of my little Lafayette, my little baby, my little cinnamon charm. And you know what? If he do good and grow for me, I might breed him with Elsa. Get some cinnamon lessers and see what they produce. But right now, I don't even have him on my breeding plan. I'm just trying to get him to be healthy and to grow like the rest of my snakes. Because the rest of my snakes, they're pretty healthy. They eat well, no problems. And they all came from reputable, good breeders. Like, I always shout out Circle of Life Exotics, who I got Elsa from, and also Balls Out Ball Pythons. That's where I got Jafar and Jasmine from. And then, let's see, Skein Reptiles is where I got Stitch. And Bowie I got from Memphis Reptiles. And so all of my snakes came from very good, reputable breeders who I trust with the most. And so I'm not going to count you know, Lafayette out. I'm very blessed. I could have had a horror story like a lot of people where I buy a snake from Petco and he dies days later, or I buy a snake from Petco and it comes back with mites and now I have to fight mites. I could have had one of those horror stories, but I thank God that that never happened. And he is pretty good, pretty tame. He's very curious most of the time. Like if I open up his tub, he immediately pops out and like comes to my hand and like tries to crawl all up my arm and stuff. But right now, I guess because of the lights and the backdrop, because this is where I usually record or take pictures of my snakes, this little mini backdrop, I think the lights are like freaking him out. And I looked under him, it looks like he might go into shed, which is good. So again, man, these videos are going on long. I could be thinking it's not as long as they really are. So you know what, that's fine. This is Lafayette, my cinnamon, and I will keep you guys updated on his health and his eating habits, and I can't wait till months from now show you guys what he looks like as he grows. I finally got him to 100 grams. Now let's see if we can get him up a little more, because you know he's way behind and he had a big struggle, you know, coming from where he came from. But that's it, and for this video we will see you guys later.